At Real Estate Hot Topics, we are consistently tracking our great young talent that can stick through the first 3 to 5 years, meaning many people get excited about a career in real estate. They think of the car they can drive and what they could earn. But in that first 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, many of the young talent don't hang in there long enough. Today we've got a different story. Please welcome to the program, Eddy Sydney Piddington. Eddy, welcome aboard.
Thank you, Lee. Great to be here.
Explain ESP to us.
Okay, ESP, it's an interesting question. Firstly, it's my initials, obviously Eddy Sydney Piddington, and originally my late father now, he did a story and a show all over the world, which was in ESP. At the time, he had the world record listening audience on BBC Radio. It was 22 million at the time, because back then it was all radio, not TV. And I thought, my middle name's Sydney after Dad, so I thought we'll roll with that and use ESP in all my marketing now. And, you know, all the cars are doing ESP traction and the different bits and pieces. I thought we'll roll with it too.
Sounds good. Eddy, you're on the program because you've just had some fantastic results after a period of time of earning your stripes. Sure. What's been happening? What awards did you win?
Okay, thanks, Lee. I suppose only just last week, which is recent news, I won the 2010 Real Estate Institute of New South Wales Awards of Excellence dinner. It was the recipient of the Auction Marketing Award, which is incredible. It was 5 finalists all over the state, and a lot of the guys I was up against were, you know, probably at least 10 years older than me, agents doing, you know, well in excess of $1 million, and known, you know, right out there. So I didn't think I really had a big opportunity, but that was pretty good to take it out on the weekend. Also back in 2008, I won the Real Estate Institute of New South Wales, again at the Awards of Excellence that night, was in residential sales achievement. So it was more of a junior agent at the time, and yeah, again, won that, which was great. It's given me a lot of confidence and yeah, helping my brand, personal branding.
Eddy, just for our listener, you're 24 years of age. You're operating at a fee of about 2.7, 2.65, which has been interesting in your area where fees have been a big shootout and everyone's been chopping fees left, right and centre. Your results are good. You're getting the right styles of property to work on. What are you doing out there to generate business that's maybe a little bit different to the typical cold calling and stuff we hear? How are you getting opportunities into your business?
Yeah, I think at my age, and a lot of people, I'm in a lot of different networking groups, you know, we have a young agent super group that we meet once a month, and a lot of the guys and a lot of the different companies just keep pushing cold calls, and it's something I've never really liked and never done a lot of and done very well with. So I think it's taking a whole nother approach of doing a lot of networking group. There's a group in Manly called B&I Manly that again recently just got elected as president. I'm the youngest person ever to be elected as the president there, which is great. And that's a group. There's about 32 of us now in the group. We meet every Friday morning from 6:45 a.m. And again, that's another whole scale. I'm not cold calling people. I'm meeting people, building relationships, building friendships between one another, and then getting referred business. You know, for me, it's a lot better way to spend my time with people I enjoy, you know, hanging out with, basically. And then all of a sudden go, Eddy, you know, Arnie's selling their property, you know, when can we see, when can we get it signed, when can we get going? And it's incredible, yeah.
This is a good networking group because you've got tradespeople in there, you've got painters, you've got good local people in the community, but you've already had a couple of listings out of that and they've been a great priced property, so you're getting some good work from it. And I suppose that connects that you like the social side. Prior to real estate, you were a DJ.
Yeah, it's a funny question. I was a DJ prior to real estate, and actually was DJ ESP. So again, coming back into that ESP, that was just out of school, coming from the Blue Mountains into Sydney, and that was one of the main reasons I moved to Sydney actually, to get into the Sydney club scene. And at that time, I was the resident at Chinese Laundry, one of the big clubs in Sydney, and Home Night Club, a lot of the clubs that people would know. And yeah, it was right up on the club circuit. You know, had gigs everywhere on Saturday. I remember I'd finish in real estate at about 4 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. And my first gig had started about midnight on Saturday night, and I'd play 12 till 2, 3 till 5, and then off every now and then would play a set from about 5:30 till 7 a.m. in the morning. So it was a bit of a wild time. I've given that a break now.
But you're used to long hours.
Yeah, that's a good example. Makes real estate look easy if you can work in the day.
And you weren't just a DJ, you actually won awards in that one as well.
Yeah, I was up for several different awards there. The first one I won was the MDMA award in Australia, which I was the youngest person ever to receive it, and it was a bit of controversy after I'd won it because they'd found out I was only 17 years old and wasn't even supposed to be in a nightclub or involved in the actual competition because I was underage. But they ended up getting a lot of recognition out of that. And there was a couple of other awards I won at the time, and again was the youngest recipient of them. Which was it's good. Always trying to get to the next spot.
It's no secret that you like winning. You're very competitive, and in the area where you're working, you're with Cunningham's Real Estate in Balgala,
Yep.
Sydney. John Cunningham's been around a long period of time and runs a brilliant outfit, very well supported team. Let's just chat about your listing presentation, because when we look at some of these properties you're winning the business on and the fees that you're charging, you must be doing something in there. Just step us through some of the dialogue, some of the questions, or your focus in a listing presentation that keeps you in tune.
Okay, I think firstly, Lee, I know being a younger agent, you've got to be really up to date with the stats. I think when I come against a 40-year-old agent, they'll look at the older agent and think, oh, he already must know it. So having really good stats, when I'm meeting with a client, I'll say, oh, Lee, I understand you're probably seeing 2 or 3 other agents this evening. Just ask them a couple of questions which are really important to you. First you want to ask them their average days on market. You already know mine's 27.9. Really important question to ask them, Lee. Also another question you'd want to ask is their current market share in the area. Very important as well. And, just knowing the stats and saying ours is currently 64% on freestanding homes in Manly Vale, and, just see how we stack up. I also carry a lot of stats with me and, share with my clients on how we're ranking up to other agents. And I think the other thing, which obviously I carry a lot of, being my age, is energy. They come in and agents get a bit tired. I do all my listing presentations, could be 8 or 9 o'clock at night. They think, we didn't think you'd show up, and I'm there full of energy, and they all laugh and say, when are you going to have a break? When are you going to rest? And same on my day off, they ring and say, oh, do we know it's your day off? But I'll be in the office working, and just that, I suppose, dedication. It's my life at the moment, and that's my choice, and I think they all appreciate it and see what they get.
I think many vendors are attracted to clean confidence, which is always backed up by energy. But just back on these stats, because I love hearing young presenters going in there and not just waffling on, but clean stats, 27 days on market. That's going to have a connection with an owner where they think that's a value. Whereas if they ask the other agent, they probably don't even know. What other visuals or stats are you delivering, and how long does your presentation go for?
Presentation can range. I did one last week. It was about 15-20 minutes, and I started because I have a whole agenda. We cover off on marketing, timing.
I'll just pause there. Take me through this agenda.
Okay, sure. So basically what's in my agenda, going from the top, it's a printed agenda. We talk about, firstly, Lee, the most important outcomes to you. I will say to the client, each of my clients are different, Lee, but my job here is to give you all the recommendations that I think will work in maximising the sale price. But also we work for you, Lee, and you're the one paying my wage, so I'll tailor my service to you. Then we go into method of sale, so talk about private, treaty or auction, the pluses and minuses of both. We then go into timing, so Lee, when would you like the property on the market? When can you see you being moved out of the property? When would you like the money in your bank account? Those questions.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
When would you like the money in your bank account?
Yeah, it always gets a smile off the people, and it's true. That's why they're selling. They want the money in their account so they can move on to other things. We'll talk about marketing. I also have a bit of a reputation with my vendor paid marketing. Like, I always upscale marketing and get the videos. Every single one of my listings gets a video, which costs the clients $500, but each time I can sell that, which is harder for some agents. And also in the media, we get all media for each of my listings, which is another thing that we do there. And then at the last thing, we cover off an investment, so fees and charges that are involved, run off on that, and then move forward.
Eddy, great agenda, and that just rolled off perfectly then. I just wanted to let you go and do that. Was that always the way for you, or did it take a while to get an agenda structure to work from? When did you sort of settle into presenting that way?
Yeah, it has taken a while, Lee. And when I was at previous companies, I spent a lot of time with different agents, and senior agents in the company, and sat in front of them, and there were agents from everything where they just walk in with an agency agreement and nothing else, no stats, no recent sales, just, hi Lee, what would you like to talk about? And no structure at all. Then there was the other agents that I felt were too structured. Oh, okay, and X, Y, Z, yeah, okay, here's question 24, here's question 25, which I don't think worked either. So, I analysed it and thought, well, what are the main key things we need to talk about before we can get the property on the market? And I really found, there's only about 7 of them, and they were the main things to cover off on. And I really think now I've almost got it nailed. It really works.
I can tell you got it nailed because, like, talking on air is difficult, and you're working a structure, but the structure's working. That's when you know you've found your right rhythm. But interesting observation for a young presenter that, you can go out with all these other presenters and so many people try and be like someone else. Chris Hanley said to me the other day, everyone should be their own role model. How they want to come across, what's their values, how do they want to work. You're getting a larger fee than the people that even trained you. So, Eddy's now found the right rhythm or the right groove, if you like, to bring it into DJ mode that makes your song work. But that's obviously getting, good attraction from the marketplace who could be a bit bored with the typical real estate agent. Yeah,
I completely agree. I mean, it is slightly about being different, and I'm really myself in there, Leah. We have laughs and we're joking, with my clients. It's not, there's a lot of agents out there that are too serious, but it is, for me, even going with some of my other agents now that are older, occasionally we'll be doing them together, and I think they can get away with having too much of a laugh with the clients, but to me it is business. We're there for one reason, and it's generally $1 million transaction for them. It's a pretty serious decision, so it is always a very serious meeting. But at the same time, we can have a laugh and talk about cars and other things as well that are not so dedicated on just the business. I think it's been likeable, basically, Lee.
What's your angle on this marketing? How are you winning? And step me in dialogue. I'll be the owner. I'm starting to understand what you do. How do you present marketing to me?
Okay, well, Lee, I always say, Lee, really, we've got one chance at doing this. We've got to do it right. I don't want to cut any corners. 4 weeks' time, when we're sitting down together and saying at the moment our maximum sale price is $852, $858, $860 or $900, we won't know where it is until we go down that path. I don't want to look back together and say, Eddy, should we maybe have invested in the Manly Daily? Should we have maybe put the video in? Would we have got more money? Because the answer is probably yes. So we've got one chance at doing this when it comes to marketing, Lee. We've got to do it right. And then I run through, my video at the moment, I'm doing videos on all my properties. It's not, the virtual tour or things you see online.
It's that you're using the Lights Camera Soul team?
Yeah, exactly. So
which is Anthony Parker.
Exactly right, yeah, Anthony Parker, yep, and the team there. So it's a full interactive video, and again, it's costing the clients $500. Now, none of my competitors are doing that. I do it partly for my profile, because it's great. It goes on my YouTube, my Facebook, goes out to all the clients, and I'm showing them. But then the way I'm selling that, Lee, is I'm talking about, okay, well, Lee, as soon as we have this video on your property, when buyers are scrolling down on realestate.com.au, looking at 25, 30 different listings on the market, ours will be one of the only ones with a view online video banner. So again, it's getting us more clicks. And then when buyers will click on that, as we're negotiating with them, as we know, we've discussed this evening, it's all about maximising the sale price. And to maximise the sale price, we work with buyers that are emotionally connected to the property. And the video is a wonderful way of getting them emotional. They forward it on to mum and dad. Mum, dad, this is the property we're looking at. So it's giving us that standout, where we're standing out from the competition.
Great technique. What do you do when the vendor says, Eddy, this is all great, but I've been offered free marketing from somebody else?
I kind of talk about, you've got to understand you really get what you pay for. What have they actually offered you? And I do get it every now and then. And we just go off. I'm not at the stage yet where I can knock back a lot of business, but there has been business I've knocked back and said, look, if that's your mindset and, you feel that free marketing is going to do the best job and, gone are the days of coming in here and taking photos, which these other agents will do. It's all about setting a perception around the property. We've got one chance to do that. Apple spends billions of dollars a month on marketing their products. We're going to do the same. We have one chance at doing it and investing the money right. Then at least when we look back in 4 weeks' time, we've done the right thing.
And what about the fee? Like other companies have offered me 1.52%. How come you're so expensive?
It comes back to a couple of things, Lee. You've got to look at our track record. Just have a look at our track record in the area. As you can see, we're currently carrying 64% market share in Manly Valley area. And what's that mean to you? What it means is we're dealing with more and more buyers day in and day out. In which there's all the buyers on the internet which we'll get, and any agent will get them. Whether we get a couple of extra ones because we're doing the other strategies that will bring them, like the video, but a lot of agents will get the people from the internet. What we'll also have, and every agency says they have a database, but carrying 64% market share, we're selling more real estate in Manly Vale than any other agency. And what that means is we'll be bringing a lot of emotional buyers to the property that have missed out at, the apartment around the corner from yours, very similar, and they're in an emotional state where they will pay more. They say, Eddie, we're sick of missing property. We just want to buy something. We're sick of looking. What do we need to pay for it? And they're the buyers I want to bring to the open home. So carrying more market share than any other agency, that's one thing we can do, where we are different. I think also, Lee, let's look at, I've quoted you tonight's 2.75% including GST. A lot of agents will say to you, oh, Lee, it's 2% plus GST, and, blow it out the window. But look, that includes GST. And why don't we just work out the differences while we're here? Let's just work it out. So I'll actually do a diagram with them, Lee, and say, okay, so the cheaper agent, as you call them, cheaper agent is 2%. We're sitting here at 2.5, for example, not including GST. The difference is $6,000. Lee, really, I feel so confident, and correct me if I'm wrong, that with this we will get at least $6,000 more through our marketing and our track record and my negotiation skills. Would you agree? Or
outstanding. I was just watching you speak then because you're passionate about it, you believe in it. And I have lots of people in scripts and dialogue say to me, oh, look, it doesn't matter what you say, some people just think their way. It does matter what you say, but it matters more how you deliver and are you committed to doing it. And 64% market share, isn't it interesting? I was thinking in your dialogue then, people say, when you mentioned everyone's going to get those ones off the internet, that's true, but they don't have a follow-up system that gets you to the 64% conversion rate. And everyone gets the initial leads. But, I remember going back to my own selling career and watching the guys just flick the leads thinking, that's not going to do anything, that's not going to do anything. And then sure enough, the conversions would be when you hang in with there for 12, 18 months with the buyer because you did have a follow-up system, not just a 1, 2, 3 and flick. And I think you're coming across that way. And just for our younger listeners out there, and a reason we wanted you on the program when we're assessing you is sometimes we bring on a Tostovan or a Matt Steinway or a Jason Byrne. People think, oh yeah, but these guys are 40 years of age. They've been around a long time. James Tostovan's been on the phone 22 years. It's different for me. You're not. You're straight out of school, DJ, love it. From records to records, it's the same thing. But one interesting thing about you, Eddie, is you tasted success pretty early. Like, be it win the DJ comps, you're now winning some things with the REI and so forth, but you're attracted to winning. And I think dialogue engages when you want to win.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's a mindset around it, and you have to believe in it. I truly have a belief in our marketing, and doing the right thing, we'll get a better result, because that's why we're there. And I say to my clients, Lee, the number one reason I'm here is to maximise the sale price. So everything we're going to do throughout this process is just to maximise that price for you. The three main goals out of this is to maximise the sale price, do it in the shortest amount of time without rushing anything, and do it in the least amount of stress possible.
Another reason why I brought you on the program today, our topic today is developing winning teams, and we've had some people talk about their effective business units and what they're doing, but Cunningham's is a family team, and I know you've had the opportunity to work with another couple of different companies. Like, you've been in real estate 5 years, you've had the chance to look around and see the big superstores and the little ones. Why's Cunningham's worked for you so well?
You know what it is? It's basically, and it works. It's incredible. When I was at the other companies, we were there doing 6 days a week. We're there till 7 and 8 o'clock at night. And my friend was always at Cunningham's, Andrew, he's still a close friend. And he used to say to me, mate, you're mad. What are you doing in there at 7 o'clock? He's like, don't you people have lives? And, and they're up there. I mean, the numbers that we're doing are, a lot, well into our number 2 top agents, doing almost $1.5 million a year, which is pretty high for the Northern Beaches. And they're, it's 5 days a week, 6 o'clock, no one's there. When I was at the other companies, I got often staying there late at night. But, your mindset will shift pretty quickly because you start losing friends and losing sleep. And, there's family. You need to be spending time doing other things. So I think the best part of Cunningham's is it is basic. And it really works, the system in there. There's a lot of support.
Let's just go into that. John's a traditional player. I've known John for 15 years. He's known as Honest John from people in the community. And John still has sales support. We fund these things for you. You're not charged for oxygen, but you're on a bigger percentage. that seems to have worked well for you on your culture and energy level.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, it's coming back to the team thing, Lee. When I was at other companies,